on guys, welcome to another CBD flower review, and today we've got a first on the channel. I've never actually done an oil review, and today we're going to be looking at the 20% 2000 milligram CBD oil from Red Eyes. So we're going to start off this video by telling you guys what is in this oil. I'm going to read off some of the information that is on this box to give you a little overview of what's in the actual bottle. So the usage, they say between 1 and 3 drops. I'll talk more about my personal usage as the videos go on. They say on here 1 to 3 drops about twice a day for someone that's probably new to CBD or definitely new to oil. I've actually got a little story time in this video, and I probably should have followed this advice when I gave this to someone to try. We'll explain more as the video goes on. So now let's look at the ingredients for this oil, and it is just MCT coconut oil and hemp extract. That is all that's in this oil. So MCT oil is a fast acting oil. It's got fats in there that are very fast absorbing, which is great for an oil like this, because if you're putting it on your tongue, you don't want to wait for 2-3 hours like an edible or something like that. So having an oil mixed into this bottle that's a fast acting oil that your body's going to absorb, because basically that oil is going to carry those cannabinoids through your system, and that is what the cannabinoids attach to. The cannabinoids attach to those fats and then push those fats through your system. And having a fast acting fat oil means that those fats are going to shoot through your system really quick, giving you that CBD really quick, which I think is a huge benefit. And I've got to say, those fast acting fats that's in the MCT oil in this bottle definitely are fast acting as well. I've tried a lot of oils in the past, and I will say this oil is pretty fast acting. Red Eyes also say that this is a full spectrum oil, which means that from the plants that they used all the cannabinoids that were included in this plant. They didn't take the THC out, they didn't take the CBDA out, they didn't take anything out. They basically processed all of the cannabinoids in the plant and included them in this oil. And I'm not going to go into it a huge amount here, but you really want to look for oils that are full spectrum, because there's something called the entourage effect when it comes to using CBD. So basically, you want to use CBD with as many other cannabinoids as possible to get even better effects. And the fact that this is full spectrum definitely helps. It also says that it uses a supercritical CO2 extraction, and it's lab tested for safety and quality, which are also 2 really good points about this oil. So guys, just as a quick little plug, I have just recently started a Twitch streaming channel. I'm streaming a few days a week at the minute. I'll put my link in the description for anyone that's interested in watching me go live while I play some games. And here is a little close-up that I wanted to show you guys of the oil in the bottle. So this is the sort of colour that you can expect from this oil if you do look to purchase it. So now let's get back to this oil. It is 20%, 2000 milligrams, and Red Eyes aren't doing it like a lot of CBD companies I've seen make CBD oil. A lot of companies will use CBD isolate, which is a lot cheaper of a product, and mix that into their oils to inflate the price and call it a really high CBD percentage, but it actually is really cheap. They use full spectrum oil, and all the bottles are the same size. The price increases on how much CBD is in the bottle. So whether you're interested in a 1000 milligram oil, a 1500 milligram oil, or a 2000 milligram oil, the bottle size stays the same, but the strength of the oil inside the bottle increases. So I'm just gonna show you guys how I've actually been using this oil. I'm pretty much at the end. I'm probably going to get this use in this session right now, and I think that is going to be this bottle done. Red Eyes have allowed me a lot of time with this oil, which I really appreciate. So I've been using this oil for between 5 and 6 weeks, I would say, and I've been using this probably about 4 or 5 times a week as well. My dosage from what I've been using probably about half of one of these, and that has been giving me the perfect dose that I need. But now I'm going to get into the story time, because now we're talking about dosages. There is a little story behind this oil that I had with one of my friends that was a little bit too much when it comes to the dosage. So I had a friend come to me in work and say that he was just feeling really groggy, he wasn't feeling good at all, aches and pains, the normal stuff, the cold weather's coming in now, and he just wasn't feeling good. So I said to him, I'm actually reviewing some oil right now. Are you interested in trying some? I'm reviewing it, I'd love to see your opinion on it and see if it works for you. So he picked the bottle up, and because I've been using about half of one of these, he used probably just a little more than what's in there. And because I'd been using half, I thought, you know, it's CBD, there's not really any THC in it, it's not going to hit him too hard. And that was at about 9:45 in the morning. So lunchtime came around, he said he was feeling a little better, but he didn't feel as though it whacked him. So then the end of the day come around, and I get a text from him at about 2:30. And the text says, I've been feeling quite stoned for the last hour without the paranoia. So I actually got a little worried, because if anything, the last thing I want people to do when they're using this CBD oil is get stoned. Especially a lot of people who have messaged me have been saying they want to try CBD to get away from THC. So this worried me when he said this. So when I questioned him about the fact that he told me that he felt a little stoned, he said maybe stoned was a heavy word to use for how he was feeling. And then he said he just felt fluffy. So after about 30 minutes, he actually showed up and I met up with him. And you could see that this oil had hit him. He didn't look stoned, he had a slight bit of a glassy eye, but he looked super relaxed, super calm, sat back in his seat, and you could just see that he was really chilled out. Which was actually surprising, because through all my time using this oil, I didn't actually feel as though it hit me hard. In fact, I felt as though this oil really cleared my head, put me in a really positive mood. But the one thing I love about this oil is the pain relief. So before we say any more, I think we've got to talk about taking this oil. I haven't got much of it left. This is probably the last of the oil, but I'm just going to show you how I take it. So I just get the oil and I put it under my tongue. And now you're not really going to understand what I'm saying, but I leave the oil under my tongue as long as I possibly can. And now we're going to get on to the next point, which is the flavour of this oil. I've tried a lot of oils in my time using CBD, and this stuff doesn't really taste much different. I really didn't like the flavour of this oil. It's very natural, very hempy, and it's got a very earthy taste to it. If you guys have used CBD oil, this one, when it comes to the taste, isn't much different. This one is very piney, very earthy, and very hempy. This is a strong tasting oil. But I will say, after using pretty much the whole bottle, it does get easier to use this oil, and the last few times really hasn't been an issue for me. And now on to the next little test that I did, because I wanted to see if food was gonna affect this oil. For about 2 or 3 weeks of using this oil, I was just putting it in my mouth, letting it sit for a few minutes, and then just kind of getting on with my day. And I did feel the effects. I felt the clear head, I felt the positivity, I felt the incredible pain relief that this oil gives. But I was wondering if food was going to impact it at all. So for the last 3 or so weeks, I've been using this oil with a mix of peanut butter and high-fat foods to see if the effects would kick in anymore. And I've got to say, I didn't really notice much of a difference. I think that is because of the MCT oil that they do use in this. You don't really need any other fatty foods to help absorb this oil, which I think is amazing. I think the fact that you can just take this oil, you can chuck it in your bag, and you don't have to eat it with food is a very, very big plus. And I think just the ease of use with this oil, yeah, it doesn't taste great, but I've had this in my bag for about 5 or 6 weeks now. It sits in the box. When I need it, I can take a few drops. It's fast acting, and I really have been getting some amazing pain relief from this. And now let's get on to that. Let's get on to the pain relief for this, because I think that is the highlight when it comes to this oil. It doesn't taste great, it doesn't smell great. The oil looks good, but the effect for me is definitely where this comes into play. And they're different effects to what I'm used to when it comes to using flour and stuff like that. I didn't get any sort of tired eyes off this, or glassy eyes, or I didn't feel couch locked at all. If anything, this oil was perfect for taking in the morning and getting rid of that tired morning grogginess that we all seem to get. This oil picked me up, got me nice and alert, cleared my head, and put me in a very positive mood. But the one thing I love about this oil more than anything, and you've heard me talk about it a few times already, is the pain relief. I'm used to CBD pain relief lasting for a few hours and then the pain seems to come back. I've been struggling really bad with my chest and my shoulder over the last few weeks, and honestly, this stuff has been a lifesaver. And especially today, my shoulder, my chest has been super sore and I just couldn't take it anymore. So I took about half of a pipette of this oil, and within about 30 minutes, my pain completely disappeared. On a scale of 0 being no pain relief and 10 being complete pain relief, this is up there. I would say the pain relief is better than flour. I would say this is on par with the pain relief for extracts. It seems to just melt it away. And not only just melt the pain relief away, but it keeps that pain away. For about 5 or 6 hours, I've noticed that the pain relief sticks around, which is the reason why it's been in my bag for the last 6 weeks. Because there's definitely been times in the last 5 or 6 weeks throughout the day where I've just needed some oil to be that quick acting pain relief, and this has done it. So this video was a little different for me. I'm used to vaping flour and having sessions on camera, but really all I could do was tell you guys about the oil, tell you my experience, show you how I use it, and also throw a little story time in there as well. But I've really enjoyed using this 2000 milligram oil from Red Eyes. If you guys enjoyed the video, remember to leave a thumbs up, put some comments in the comment section, hit that subscribe button, and if you want to come and watch me stream some games, check that link in the description. I'll speak to you guys later.